Hello everyone, this is Duster and I'm here at Orange, California. This is episode 5 of Almost Gone Rebuild, and today I'm doing the outlet at Orange. In today's episode, I'll be talking about the history of the outlet at Orange and what it was before then. Before the outlet at Orange, it was actually called the Block at Orange, which I remember growing up as a kid. And before then, it was actually called the City Shopping Center. I think that's how I'm saying it. But it was actually in a bigger building. So there's a lot of history regarding this area here at the outlet. So expect a really long video, but I'll tell you as much as I can of the information I got so far. And it's a really cold day today too. Okay, so I'm just gonna give you guys a good idea why I've been doing these Almost Gonna Rebuild episodes. It's not just to say that, oh, the mall's dead or the mall is doing okay. It's just that I just wanted to do it because I've noticed that there's a lot of stores over the years in every single mall that I've went to that unfortunately has been shutting down, and I just wanted to make awareness that these type of stores did exist. So that way, in a way, I kind of look at it like some kind of time capsule. So that's why I wanted to do these ones so I can remember them for what they were. So that way, as I get older, because as you get older, you start forgetting everything. That way I could at least have something to go back to and think, oh yeah, so I was right. This store did exist. I'm just letting you guys know. Anyway, so the Block at Orange, which we all know today as the Outlet at Orange, it's kind of symbolic for me in my childhood because across the street from the outlet at Orange, I used to go to the doctor a lot when I was a kid at the UCI area over there across from the street, where you pass the street, the crossing light from the Krispy Kreme. And unfortunately, when I was little, I was born with a cleft palate, so I had to go see a nose specialist, a teeth specialist for my dental work, and my eyes as well, which is an eye specialist, because I had a tumor when I was growing up as a kid. You could see the tumor when I was really like in kindergarten. That's the last time I had the tumor, but I had it removed though. It wasn't cancerous from what I heard. I also had ear specialists too, and of course I had speech specialists because they thought I wasn't able to talk, but that ended up being wrong because I'm talking to you guys today. But I wanted to do the outlet because I found out that the corner bakery here at the outlet at Orange shut down a couple months ago because of the pandemic. And I just wanted to record it before they would fence it, because I know a lot of abandoned places have been getting fenced because of vandalism and, homeless people just using it as a way to just relax or have shelter of some sort, or worst case scenario, vandalize it and make it uglier and just but I know there's a lot of good homeless people out there. It's just there are some that unfortunately are very sick because of living outside, which I learned in psychology, by the way, that I'm not licensed, but I know if you are homeless, you develop schizophrenia along the way. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to come. Also because I just wanted to come here because I kind of like the outlet at Orange. It kind of reminds me of summer. It gives you like that summer vibe every time you're here. I used to work at the outlet at Orange, which I'll show you guys in a minute. But anyway, I'm going to talk to you guys about the history of the outlet at Orange before it became the outlet at Orange, actually. All this area that you see, the theater, all this was actually a mall before then, but unfortunately it got demolished. So the outlet at Orange was formerly known as the Block at Orange, and before that it was known as the City Shopping Center, located at Orange, California, across from one of the UCI medical centers. The outlet at Orange is an open-air mall, meaning that it's not all put together in just one big building. Like when we go to Westminster Mall, Buena Park, it's all like squashed, like all trapped in a bigger building. Well, this one, not really. The mall is owned by Simon Property Group, who also as of today, they own Brea Mall and Ontario Mall. When it was still the city shopping center. The mall was open from 1970 to 1998. So this, before the outlet, it was actually originally called the city shopping center, which unfortunately got demolished. It was a closed mall which had JCPenney and May Company. But the May Company and JCPenney ended up moving to Main Place, which is located in Main Street and passing Laveda Avenue. You just have to pass by the Chalk Hospital. I would go there a lot too when I was young. This area is considered a centerpiece within the city. The streets around the mall complex were named cities because they became a part of the mall, such as the City Drive, which from the left, if you go on the left side, on your left, it is State College Avenue, and to the right, to Costa Mesa and Santa Ana is Bristol Street, which is on the right, by the way. Surprisingly, it is 2 miles from the Main Place at Santa Ana. May Company opened a store at Main Place in 1991 and closed their store at the City Shopping Center that same year. JCPenney later closed their store at the City Shopping Center in 1995. The City Shopping Center was demolished in 1996, which, is this place that you see right now. The Mills Corporation purchased the site and wanted to create a new mall called City Mills, but decided not to because there was already one in Ontario that was being developed. They built an outdoor lifestyle center and would call it the Block at Orange, which to this day I remember it as the first time I went here actually. The old slogan was the Block at Orange, it ain't square. The block opened in 1998 and became one of the Mills Corporation's first outdoor malls. In fact, it's one of the first outdoor malls I have set foot in my life. And probably a lot of you guys that are watching this video, if you were born and raised in the OC, Orange County, in case you don't know what that is. In 2011, the mall was renamed the Outlet at Orange. And I still call it the Block, more as the outlet kind of sounds boring to me. The Outlet at Orange expanded in order to put in more stores. Nordstrom Rack was completed in 2013, and in 2016, the second phase was done. Stores in the second phase were Bloomingdale Outlet, Polo Ralph Lauren, Gap Factory store. An interesting fact about that is that I used to work there, which I talked about it before. They were supposed to have 12 stores, but Bloomingdale's outlet wanted more space. The Outlet at Orange became the only outlet in Orange County until 2015 when the Outlet at San Clemente opened. The Outlet at San Clemente became a competition for the Outlet at Orange. The movie Borat filmed a scene where the Virgin Megastore was at the Outlet at Orange. Unfortunately, I don't know where the Virgin Megastore was located in this area of the Outlet at Orange, but I'll try to show you around and see if I could find it. As of today, the Outlet at Orange can hold more than 120 stores. I couldn't find any history regarding the outlets at Orange or when it was the City Shopping Center, but I did find a discussion board on the types of stores that were at the Outlet at Orange and before it was the outlet. I will also include stores at the City Shopping Center since it was in the same site as the Outlet at Orange today. Stores that were at the site in the past were Cinedome, Cartoon Junction, which I read about in this website on Flickr.com, and it reminds me, it kind of sounds like a Hot Topic before Hot Topic. An Electric Carousel, Learners, Orange Julius, Miller's Outpost, Oonga Boonga, which is like a jungle type of store, The Incredible Machine, Ho Ho Gifts, Tom McGann, The Limited, Swiss Colony, Pat's Pets, a pet store, Fry's Left-Handed Supply, a babysitting service, in order to drop off your kids when you're shopping. A Rare Coin store, I didn't get the name of that one. Clubhouse Pizza, City Center Theaters, a UA Theater, Kids Mart, a CVS drugstore, Papa's Famous Hot Dogs, and surprisingly a radio station around here, which played country music. But not a fan of country music right now, by the way. There were also stores like Uniquely Yours, Bobby's, Fashion Conspiracy, China King Restaurant, JCPenney and May Company. The JCPenney and May Company moved to the Main Place Mall, across a couple blocks from here actually. Other old stores at the block and outlets at Orange were Wet Seal, which I still have the little card for, Angel or Heavenly Couture Store, which I did a job training one day. It was like a shoe store, a small shoe store. And I didn't get the job, unfortunately. Ron John Surf Shop, Virgin Megastore, which they filmed Borat, Steve and Barry's, Cool Planet, Hello Hattie, which I managed to find a picture of it. It was kind of like a Hawaiian store. It's also a person too, based on the person. Ben and Jerry's, which I knew there was a Ben and Jerry's around here. I just didn't think it was. I just thought it was right here, but I think it was the Hagen Days I got confused with. Quiznos, Borders, which I don't know if you guys know, is Borders and Barnes and Noble like the same company, or is it like separate? Because I thought I recalled that they changed the name Borders to Barnes and Noble. There was also a Sports Authority, which I'm gonna show you where it was. Supposedly that's where the Borders bookstore was, but I remember the Borders being in the middle the first time I went to this mall. Furniture and Beyond, which is in the same store as the Sports Authority. Corner Bakery, Ruby Thigh, possibly Dairy Queen since it was associated with Orange Julius, and Alcatraz Brewing Company, Cafe to Tango, which I remember seeing a picture of, and a bunch of other random stores. So over the years, this mall, this little piece of the mall went from a jungle store to a coin shop to a Hawaiian store. Now just a regular shop with a gym, of course, and a theater, which is the AMC right here. I saw Black Adam here. I'm trying to remember what other movie I saw, but yeah. What other things were here on this place? Yeah, so, and there's also a Krispy Kreme across. I don't know if you guys are interested. And Lucky Strike, which is like a bowling place. A lot of people have been bowling. I know my brothers have been bowling a lot lately, but they mostly bowl at the main place, I think. And of course, the Dave and Buster's. Anyway, well, I'm gonna talk about the crimes here that happened. There were some crimes, but not a lot of crime. I heard that their security is pretty, like, strict when it comes to stealing in this area. I know there's been recent crimes lately, especially what happened, like, this year when someone unfortunately got shot. But luckily they survived. But again, it's just to tell what had happened in this site. It's not to be expose people like, oh, you're bad. It's just to, explain history, try to remember things and how far we've come, or I guess what we still need to work on. I'm just letting you guys know because I know there are some people that are like, why are you putting the crime history? Just saying. But if it does come off rude, let me know in the comment section. I just don't want it to be uncomfortable, that's why. There aren't that many crimes that I found online, but most recently there was a shooting. If you know any crimes that happened at the outlet at Orange or the Block or the City Shopping Center back then, comment below. In March 2018, a male robbed the store at the outlet and started robbing people from parking lots at Knife Point. Some in their cars and pedestrians walking by. No one was injured, and the male was arrested. Supposedly, the man was in a crime spree of stealing a variety of stores in 2018. In February 2020, at the Banff Skate Park, a BMX rider from Huntington Beach died from an injury. He bled to death from a cut on the neck. His name was Tyler Canar and died performing a bike stunt. The skate park closed but was reopened a couple days later. It was a really big cut and the doctors did everything they could. But it was too much. Rest in peace to Tyler. Such a big loss. And so young too. In 2021, 3 thieves stole merchandise worth thousands of dollars. They had huge booster bags, which were like humongous big bags. I didn't know those things existed, by the way. And they were caught, as shown on the video on KTLA.com. These people had a plan. One left the store with stuff in the bags, while the other one followed in after the accomplice left. And they apparently put the stolen merchandise in a minivan. One of the thieves was caught after being seen waiting outside the van for the female accomplice. The thief stole 31 pairs of jeans that valued over $2,202, which are extremely expensive, by the way. They were Levi's. Investigators then caught another accomplice who was acting suspicious in another store. They tried stealing Gucci valued at $2,499. The three all got arrested and had other theft charges before going to the outlet at Orange and stealing everything else. It happened in December, so Christmas shopping would be a reason why, people go crazy and steal because they want to give gifts to their loved ones or they just want to sell for more money to get gifts. Last but not least, on March 17th of this year, a man was shot in the leg after an altercation with another. The victim survived, but the shooter is still at large, unfortunately. And this is why I prefer not to drink alcohol at all. Especially on St. Paddy's Day when everyone's all drinking alcohol. Even though some of them are probably not Irish. I'm looking at all of you. Anyway, I'm gonna show you around the mall and see what kinds of things, stores have been abandoned and what's been new and what was there once, and the corner bakery, of course, because it is a small place. I was gonna record it, but because it was so small, I was like, nah, maybe I'll just do it at an episode of Abandoned or Almost Gone, because it is a short store. But let's look around. So I don't see a lot of abandoned places. I mostly just see a lot of abandoned little shacks where people would have these stands and sell a bunch of stuff like food or toys or anything. There's one over there from a car. There's a lot. A lot of these stands are closed right now. So I'm at Hot Topic. There used to be a store back then called Cartoon Junction, which sold a lot of clothes and stuff based on cartoons. So in a way, it was kind of like Hot Topic, but it has shut down, unfortunately. And we have Hot Topic right now, although a lot of people aren't really into Hot Topic as much as it was. Because Hot Topic back then was kind of like an emo kind of store, skater kids kind of store back then. I remember. I mean, I still like Hot Topic. I still think it's a really great, interesting store. I buy a lot of Funkos at Hot Topic. And right now they're selling like Twilight, which I heard is getting popular again. I used to watch and read all the Twilight books. And I watched Twilight Eclipse with my dad. It was kind of weird though. Hey look, Chimchar. Ooh, look what I found. I also found Piplup too. Next to Piplup, it's Chibiusa. Sailor Moon's daughter, by the way. Hey guys, so I just bought some items and look what I found. I haven't seen the latest Scream movie, but I would like to though. Remember at one point, there used to be this jewelry store and I bought like this heart-shaped keychain, but unfortunately it broke. I remember before this was the room, there used to be like a Funko shop, and then I think it turned into before that, it was a Perfume Mania store. But of course it shut down too. The room is basically like a makeup shop, I would assume. Really expensive too, by the way. Seems like guest services isn't open today. But look what I just found. I found this. The block. I thought they removed this sign, but I guess it's still there. It's the Levi's store. I wonder if this is the place where those three thieves stole all the pants. I think maybe it is. Hilfiger. One of my friends actually used to work at this store a long time ago, but now she's a animal protectionist, some kind of thing, where she captures the animals and tries to rescue them. I thought that's pretty cool. I haven't seen her in such a long time. Neiman Marcus, last call. Before this was a Neiman Marcus, it was actually a Ron John surf shop. Look, I found even more clothes stands. Yeah, they used to have a popcorn stand and maybe a Mexican stand where they would sell chicharron and chips. It was pretty good though. Well, not to mention fruit. I remember they had fruit where you could put chili sauce on. If I'm wrong, but wasn't this a boozy store? Now it's a Movado store. So if you look at the sign, the names of the restaurants has gotten really small here at the outlet. Right here where the Panda was, the panda is still here, by the way. There used to be this other Asian restaurant where they would sell like Chinese food. They would sometimes give out samples. I remember because when I worked here, they would always hand out samples and I would take them. It was pretty good though. I never went to that restaurant though. I think it was called Little Dragon, but I could be wrong. Around this food court, there was an Orange Julius, possibly Dairy Queen. I remember it used to be somewhere around here, but it closed down a long time ago. See the chip stand? Maybe they just moved. Oh, look, it's Mario. I heard the Mario movie came out recently, and a lot of people said it was really good. Market Broiler. Anyone ever had food from this location? Because I've never tried this place. Saddle Ranch. We actually have a Saddle Ranch here in Orange, but I heard the one in Hollywood's pretty bad. Well, the food and the pricing. But I think this is where the Alcatraz Brewing Company used to be at. Horses. A lot of horses. And right across the Saddle Ranch is the Corner Bakery. One of my high school people that I used to be in high school with actually worked at this Corner Bakery when I was working at the Gap Factory. I only saw him one time. I think that was the first time I actually talked to him. I didn't really have a lot of friends in high school, actually. That's pretty sad. But here's the abandoned Corner Bakery. As you can tell, it's really sealed. Yeah, I used to come here all the time just to get the Cookie Monster M&M cookies. I don't know if you guys remember those. I would get like 2, sometimes 1, because they were just so big and just too much. I remember I bought 7, some for my brothers and myself. I couldn't eat the whole thing. Yeah, just to look at it one more time. I remember when I was in elementary, people would say, oh, I'm going to the block this weekend. I'm going to the block. And I thought they meant like the actual block, like, you know, a block from a street, some kind of alley. But when I found out it was a mall, I was like, oh, it's a mall? I didn't know that. Oh, I hope I don't get copyrighted because there's a song playing that's really... Yeah, that one song from that one band. What's it called? Genesis, Phil Collins. Anyway, as I was saying, a lot of my schoolmates, or former classmates used to go to the block back then when it was called the block. Now it's called the outlet. Interesting. Also, another interesting fact. I remember one of my classmates from college actually had a job at Old Navy, which I passed by recently. I don't know if I don't think she works there anymore. But when she told me, she's like, hey, do you remember me? We used to go to college together. We were working in a group. And I was like, no, I don't remember you. And she was shocked because she said everyone knows her. And I was like, well, I don't remember you. I'm really sorry. But then, you know, it took me a couple minutes to realize, oh, yeah, I remember now. Yeah, it takes me a while to remember certain things. Right there, in the middle, they used to have like this little mascot character. I guess they covered him up now, unfortunately. Yeah, you see a much more Corner Bakery type of thing. I think you could see the character right there. Yeah, right there. That's where he is. Yeah, they took out all these benches over here. You know, for a cold day, there sure are a lot of people on a Thursday. The only thing that occupies this old former Corner Bakery is the sugar and spicy, which is kind of like, you know, you put stuff in, like spicy stuff in mango and stuff. I don't know what kind of stuff. I just passed by. God. There is another Corner Bakery across the street from Main Place, so you have to walk a little bit further down. So, U.S. Polos, ASSN. There's actually 2 of them. There's this one and the one we're gonna look at in a couple minutes. In a couple minutes. I'm here at Box Lunch. I think before it was a Box Lunch, it was another store. A couple years ago, it used to be like a Wet Seal, I think. I love the Pokemon merch too. Oh, they have classic Mickey figures. See, they have Pete, they have Mickey, and they have Minnie right here. They look kind of old though. Classy, not old. Vintage. Yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah, so I remember around this area used to be a Wet Seal. I can't remember where it was. Maybe it was at this Box Lunch right here. It was a long time ago. This area, I think maybe this is where the Virgin Megastore was. I am saying it right, Virgin Megastore? Music store? where they filmed Borat. He was supposed to capture Pamela Anderson, and I think they also filmed the parking lot too. So I'm right here at the Nike outlet, and before it was a Nike outlet, it was Furniture and Beyond, but that shut down real fast. And then before that, it was Sports Authority, which I think all of us remember Sports Authority. There used to be one in Fullerton at Harbor, close by Orange Store, and another one in Warner and Magnolia Street in Fountain Valley, but now that one is a house and decor flooring type of thing. And before then, it was actually a Borders bookstore, which I remember going in the Borders bookstore before. The first time, that was actually the first and last time I went to a Borders store, because I think it was the first actual time that I went to the outlet, well, the block back then in my day. Because my godparents took me, it was the first actual time that they took me. And so this is supposed to be was a Borders. Well, now it's a Nike outlet, which was in another place before. My godparents and I, we went to the AMC to watch Despicable Me. That was the first time I actually watched that movie. It was for my birthday, that's why. And around this area, this is where that small shoe store, Angel or whatever the heck that store's name is, Angel Couture was, where I did a jaw training, which, not gonna lie, it was a waste of time, because I actually had to use an emergency bus pass that I kept saving. And my dad's car unfortunately broke down that day, so my dad took me home after the job training. It was kind of a waste, because I did the job training and I never got the job. But then they shut down a couple months, which a lot of small stores, they don't seem to last that long around here. And around here is the Dave & Buster's. I think this is where the guy got shot in March. He survived, thank God. But they're still trying to find the other guy. I think there's two guys, I'm not sure. I heard there was a second one. I don't know, there's just a lot of things that they don't tell you on the news nowadays. And around here is the Guitar Center, which I have some history regarding this place with certain people that I don't talk to anymore. Anyway, this is the Guitar Center, as you could tell, some legends on here. Well, this guy looks like one. Guitar Center. Right there they have Travis Barker, and somewhere they have Slash. I know I saw him. I always come around here. Around this area, when I'm trying to remember when it was. Oh, yeah, I told my friend if he could give me a ride to work and to give me some money, because at the time I was struggling with money. And he gave me a ride and he dropped me off here. He was gonna try and go to Guitar Center. He was my best friend. Well, we're still kind of friends, although I haven't talked to him in 2 years. But apparently the shop was closed that day. I think it was on a Sunday. Yeah, good times. But I always wanted to shop more at the Guitar Center. It's just kind of expensive and I never have time to play instruments. I actually bought guitar strings around here a long time ago. Yeah, so I bought guitar strings at the store for a guitar class, but I didn't end up using that guitar that much because it was already old. Me and my friend, yeah, we came over here. Yeah, we used to hang out a lot, but unfortunately, he's been occupied lately. On October 2021, I want to say, this band that I used to go see at the Anaheim area, I don't want to say the name in case, I don't want them to come after me, but this guy who I was in love with, he and his two friends, they were around here. I remember I saw it on his Instagram, and I kind of wish they would have told me, because I was actually around here in October buying some Krispy Kreme donuts for my brothers. But unfortunately, if you have seen that long video that's like 1 hour and 34 minutes, that explains the whole thing of what happened between me and that guy. It's a really long video, by the way. And Keith Urban right here. A guy named Daniel Lanois, Greg Graffin. I don't know who those are. I'm sorry. Gosh. Eric Clapton. Oh, that doesn't look like Eric Clapton. Or maybe it is. I'm not really into his music that much. I like his old music though. The Yardbirds. All I could say about the guy is that the one that I was in love with is that he kind of looked like Slash, only he had brown hair. Total ripoff, wannabe rock star. Basically gave up rock music for country music. Yeehaw! And moved to Texas. What a jerk, huh? But, I mean, yeah, it just still kind of brings bad memories of what happened that summer last year. But it doesn't matter. It just didn't work out, unfortunately. Him and his friends, well, two of the the two of the three of them. There was a keyboardist. He. I don't have any beef with him, but I do have beef with his wife because she never responded me back. But let's just say it didn't work out. They weren't good people in the end, and they just pretty much used me for their band support, which I think is really messed up. I mean, I'm not saying this because I'm accusing, but from what I've gathered from my friends, because I've told my friends about them, everything. So if they want to come after me and say that, oh, she's making up lies, just so you know, I told a lot of my friends and my family about you guys, what you did. I'm just letting you know. But if you want to watch that long video, it's 1 hour and 34 minutes or 16. It's from December 2022, by the way. This Guitar Center kind of paints back those really painful memories of people I had in the past. I don't know why, and I don't like that because I love guitars. But oh well. I think that's pretty much it for, like, I don't see any abandoned stores anywhere around here other than that corner bakery. But yeah, I think maybe every time I pass by that Guitar Center, it kind of reminds you of those guys. Which is why I try not to go there. But it's kind of hard because there's like this Funko shop right next to it. And also the fact that there's a lot of vendors around. Like there's the shoe vendor. My brother said that when he went to a mall, the shoe vendor asked if he could clean his shoes, and my brother was like, no thanks, and the vendor kind of scolded at him, and I was like, what? That's so mean. Yeah, better be careful with those vendors out there. They're usually in the middle of the malls, and they try to get your money and stuff, yeah. I do apologize if I sound a little too sad and dramatic. It's just something really traumatizing that happened last summer. Which I talked about, by the way, in that long video. If you want to watch it, you don't have to. Again, it's really long. I would understand why you would not want to watch it. Right around here is where they had the Nordstrom that I think it was open 1999 around there. Dang, it's starting to sprinkle a little bit. Well, I'm gonna have to make this really fast though. I was gonna show the band Skate Park where Tyler unfortunately passed away and got brutally hurt. Again, if this offends anyone, just let me know in the comment section. And here's the Bloomingdale's outlet, which was supposed to be more than just this big, humongous store. But they decided that they just want to have it this big. I mentioned in my history facts that there was a second phase. Well, this entire area right here, this small area, along with the Bloomingdale's, yeah, I said it right. This is where the second phase happened. The Build-A-Bear workshop you see right here, it actually was a clothing center. They actually had some not really great clothes, but like these tank tops that they were selling for like $5 when I was working at Gap. But I forgot what it was called. But now it's a Build-A-Bear. It moved from downtown Disney to over here now. I'm just letting you guys know. And here is the Gap Factory, my old job, my ex-job that I almost worked for 2 years. It was actually one of the reasons why I wanted to stop working in retail, because I think retail has definitely gotten downhill, and over the years it just keeps getting worse and worse. And the reason why I quit Gap is because I just wasn't really into the whole credit card thing. Like, when I first heard about the Gap stores, they said it was a really great place to work, and I believed in them. So I applied over here when I heard they were opening one. I got hired in October of 2017, I think, or 2016. I got hired in October, and they told me that they wanted to do the training at the Long Beach Gap Outlet store. But the problem was, it was all the way in Long Beach, so I was practically new with Long Beach because at the time I was still studying. Like, I was still a new student, so I didn't know much about my way in Long Beach yet. So I ended up taking the little red bus, and believe me, it was a far bus. I think I took like three buses in total, one for Orange County, two for just the Long Beach area. And I went there only one day because it was just way too far. Like, I couldn't, like, I didn't have anyone to take me home. But this one guy's name, I think his name was Luis. He was really nice enough to take me home, even though I think he lived at Fullerton at the time. And when they told us they were gonna start putting stuff in the Gap factory, I was very excited that they were finally opening. And to be honest with you, when you're opening a new store, it's a lot of work, guys. Like, getting all the items, not just the items, the clothes, but also like the displays, and it's a lot of work. I was kind of worried I was gonna get more hours and it was gonna invade my school time, but it did not. So once the store opened, that's when things kind of went downhill from there. When I started working at Gap, I think this is when I started really looking at my career and what I want to work at, because at that point, I feel like retail was actually dying. And I still think it is because, you see all these places like Bed Bath and Beyond and Pier 1 and a lot of Sears stores closing, hardly existing now. So what happened was that during the first few weeks at Gap, I got like a certain amount of hours, but as the weeks passed by, I started getting 4 hours a week. Then I started getting 4 hours every 2 weeks. Then I started getting 4 hours every 3 weeks. And then I started getting 4 hours a month, one shift a month. Think about that. How do you survive one shift once a month? I don't think anyone could. But luckily, I live with my parents. And unfortunately, this really, like, I had a lot more time to study. It was as if I didn't have a job. And that's the thing about stores nowadays. They hire a bunch of people. They were hiring a lot of people in the beginning at Gap, only to then give them less hours. But I thought from there it was gonna get better because I thought we were just a new store. But around Christmas time, I didn't even get a lot of hours, and it's Christmas time. Around December, it's always tons of hours during that month of December for retail, but I didn't get that much that year. So then, I started looking for other jobs. I managed to get like a Halloween City job, which only lasted till Halloween. Then I started getting like, I think a baseball job, and then, which, at the Angel Stadium, only when it was summer. But, because I pretty much had like two jobs. But the Gap job didn't even feel like an actual job. It actually felt like a once in a month type of thing, which is kind of bad. But then, my boss, she ended up leaving. She said she was retiring the companies. I'm thinking she just worked at another company, I would assume. And then we had another manager. His name was Raphael. He doesn't work at this store anymore, by the way. And that's when things really went downhill fast. So when Raphael got hired as the new manager, Gap pretty much screwed me over. They cared more about the credit card. Like, for some reason, every time we managed to get a person a credit card, open a credit card at the store, everyone at work would be like, happy birthday, through the talkies. I'm like, why are you saying happy birthday? That's kind of weird. And I thought that was someone's birthday, actually. But it turned out to be like some kind of thing every time someone got someone else to sign a credit card. And it felt like they care more about the credit cards than they do with the workers. And, in 2019, unfortunately, I had that injury thing in the beginning of the year, and I had to take some time off. Apparently, my leave of absence, I think it was leave of absence, right? The one I was asking for a long time, for a lot of time off, apparently it didn't pass, and I didn't work at Gap for like about almost 3-4 months. I thought it was because I had some time off, but it turns out that they didn't schedule me any hours until they called me in June and they asked, hey, you want to come in for work? And I'm like, I thought I was still on leave of absence. And they said, no, that never went through. And I was like, wait, then how was it that I was gone for 3 months and I didn't get a single shift those 3 months? And he said, I don't know, but I'm sorry that happened. And so I told them that month, you know what? I quit. Because I didn't want to work anymore at that place. It was mostly about the credit cards they cared more than about the customers. Isn't that the whole point of working at retail? Customers always come first, but in Gap, it just seemed like credit cards come first. And I don't know who's managing the store now, but this was the reason why I just decided not to work in retail anymore, because I feel like these credit cards were just taking over the retail business. And it just, in my opinion, I feel like the credit cards are just making retail stores go out of business. I mean, Sears had the same thing too. Credit cards, Macy's, JCPenney, Forever 21, I think, Nordstrom. But I honestly feel like credit cards, in my opinion, even though they help the store, they're also kind of the downfall of retail. But yeah, I didn't really like Gap that much. I mean, I like the environment, but the way they push you for the credit cards and always ask you like, oh, you gotta get more credit cards. The more credit cards you get, the more hours you get. The less credit cards you get, the less hours they cut. Bad, like really bad. I'm not kidding. But I mean, I don't hate anyone in that store, by the way. I'm just letting you guys know. I never hated anyone. Although Raphael, I never liked. I always thought he never liked me for some reason. And every time I tried to talk to him, it just felt like he just didn't really seem to care. He doesn't work there anymore. He was just very pushy. Like, he wasn't a really good manager. I feel like when he first started working Gap, I just wanted to leave. Again, no hate to the company or anything. I'm just letting you guys know, what happened in my experience. It wasn't great. I just feel like retail needs to be more open and more of doing like more options other than just credit cards, relying on credit cards, because I feel like that's gonna be the downfall of retail. Here's the fountain. They actually put a fountain in the middle. I see a lot of kids playing on it, putting their hands sometimes in it. Here's the Krispy Kreme. I'll never forget when my godparents took me to Krispy Kreme the first time. We got some donuts for my parents, and my parents weren't really fond of Krispy Kreme. They said it was too sugary. And I was like, yeah, it was. I mean, I still eat there for the holidays, like Christmas or Halloween, because they always have some really beautiful donuts during the holidays. But in general, I don't really go to Krispy Kreme that much. And here is the second Polo Ralph Lauren store I've been telling you about. It's right here at the second phase. Here is the Vance skate park, where unfortunately Tyler met his demise. Rest in peace, Tyler. Anyway, it was a lot to film today. I do apologize for my little rants of my job experience and also some people at the Guitar Center. Again, no hate to the Guitar Center or the Gap Outlet. I'm just letting you know I don't have any hate towards them. Just the people, though. The people that Raphael and my crush, who ended up being sellout for rock and roll and ended up going with country. But it was nice coming here. It kind of brings back a little nostalgia. Oh, interesting fact, that restaurant that you see across over there, that's actually the restaurant where me and my godparents went to go eat. And I think I ate an enchilada. I think I had enchiladas that day. They were really big. But it was nice coming here. I do come here sometimes. Well, maybe once a month. I used to come here around this area for doctor's appointments. I'll never forget. Because me and my dad, we would go to doctor's appointments after doctor's appointments. Until towards the beginning of high school, actually, everything was all fixed. And I wasn't needed to go to doctor's appointments anymore. Was once a big, humongous mall, now an outside mall. I can't believe there's a lot of history with this place, just this little area here. Well, it's not really small when you think about it. The City Shopping Center, the block at Orange, and now the outlets at Orange. There were a lot of people today. I think it's because a lot of the kids are still in spring break. But if you're wondering if there's another Vans skate park, I think there is another one in close by Bellaterra and Golden West College at Edinger, and you have to drive past Beach Boulevard. It's somewhere in the middle in the neighborhood. They also have a ton of office buildings at the outlets at Orange. Yeah. Pretty insane. Anyway, this is Dowster, and thank you for watching another episode of Episode 5. Almost Gone, a Rebuild. And I think at this point, it's mostly just the same state as it was. I just thought it was almost gone, in my opinion. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Comment, like, subscribe for more interesting videos, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.